Welcome back to Bleach, anime review, episode number 11. You were thinking, episode 11? Well, because I did originally review this series in 10 videos 4 years ago. It's basically planned, basically, for me to do this. Well, I'm going to rewatch the entire series from beginning to end. It's an absolute great series, Bleach, but of course, also there was an announcement last year that the series is coming back and they're going to be adapting the final arc of the series. The rumored release date, it's not been confirmed yet. The suggested release date was going to be October of this year. But here's the strange thing about it. Aside from the one show I'm going to talk about here, which by the way is the first thing they released in 5 years, there has been nothing, and I do repeat, nothing been announced since the announcement that the Bleach anime was coming back. And you're thinking, really? Yes, really. There has been seriously nothing. Like, has there been any new light novels released? Well, there's been a few. Now, as for when in the world that the next thing that was going to be released for the series, the very next season per se, like it's presumed to be this year. That was the rumor per se, but honestly, I don't really know. It's just kind of strange. Like they announced it was going to be adapted, and then nothing. Like, okay, you announced it was going to come back, but since then, it has been over a year, and there has been zero things released. And I do mean zero. Yeah. Which I kind of think that this, I think, was a mistake on the part of people who make Bleach. Like, you announced it's going to come out, and then, in the past year, there has been zero things been announced. Has been any, new, let's just say, new video games? Well, they released a few light novels since then. Well, the English release of, excuse me, Can't Spare Your Own World. Yeah, that was the only thing that's been released. And this one shot. Yep. That is literally all that's been released since this announcement was made. That, well, they're going to adapt the final arc, but there's been officially been nothing. I'm really hoping that at some point soon we might get an announcement of when the anime is going to start. I mean, there also was no announcement what studio is going to make it. Of course, it's somewhat obvious it might be Studio Para because they did originally make the series. It would be kind of shocking if they didn't do it because, well, they did make it. I mean, are they, aside from Barch, are they making any other series right now? And you're thinking, maybe it's Black Clover. No, Black Clover ended early this year. So, let me ask again, is there any current series that they're working on, aside from Baruto? Well, there's Pentadora, I've never really heard of this series. But aside from that, there is nothing. There's nothing else being worked on aside from the fact you have an anime adaptation of a video game for Puzzles and Dragons. And that's it. No, seriously, this is all they've been doing. You have an announcement of that, you have this coming out, but aside from that, there's been zero stuff being released. And I keep thinking, wouldn't, I don't know, they do something, but they haven't. Alright, let's talk about this new chapter. First up is one of a cover image by Taito Kubo. Yes, on this cover, front and center is obviously Ichigo with the Naruto haircut. We have Renji, we have Rukia. Let's see, who else is on this cover? We have the captain, the one who's the first captain. I think his name is Yashiro, I think his name is. Let's see, we have Maru, who's on a building. We have the current captain. I think this was Squad. I think it was. It was the former one that the blonde guy was in charge. I don't remember his name. It's been a while. We have Kapachi. Yeah, he's still here. Uh, I don't know who the woman is here. I have no idea. Like, yeah, Toshiro, obviously. Um, it can't be Ruki. I don't know who the two women are who are just underneath Toshiro. Yeah, I don't know who those two women are. And like who is like to Rukia? Uh I can't really tell because it's a good image. I at least got hand to Tai Kubo. It's actually really good. And I see the old Bleach logo again. We cut to basically the world of living. We have a brief small scene with Orihime. Yes, making her first appearance in the manga since the ending of the Bleach manga. By the way, this is actually was the first thing released for the Bleach manga in 5 years. And then we see Kuzuku, who's actually her and Ichigo's son. I believe he's named after the lieutenant of Company 3. And he's basically sneaking out, and he's stopped by Cone. Yes, Cone. As in the guy who's this stuff flying, who's got this tiny soul candy inside of him. Mm-hmm. And he goes out and basically, because he promised something, of course, he sees that Ghost is lonely. And then we see that, oh yeah, look, a shrine. Like, goes in here, goes back in. Everyone's there. And then we cut to the Soul Society. Yes, the Soul Society. Also, like, if you ever watched the Bleach anime, you know this particular ground. Yes, I believe this is the same mount that they were going to execute Rukia in during season 3 of the show. So, and then we have someone saying, "Good morning, teacher." Oi, you're late, Ikia. Ikia? Yeah, Bukaku teaching Rukia and Renji's daughter. Which there is something interesting about her, which I'll get to that. Don't worry. You have her fighting. You have her Kapachi. Yeah, Kapachi. Ikaku, which is so hilarious. Look like he got a better teacher. Of course, they keep fighting. Yep. So. And then we have, I think it's supposed to be. I don't think this is Rukia. I can't really tell who it is. It could be Izuku, the guy who pranced up like a pretty boy. And then we have Renji just slouching around at this place. And he's calling somebody on his smartphone. Yep, and of course we have Ichigo, where apparently we see his job is that he's a translator. Yeah, he feels like he is a translator. And of course he's talking to Renji. And then Rukia shows up. Yes, Rukia. They're like, oh, well, this Ichigo, what's this? This is amazing to see his face. Oh, new fancy fangled soul pagers. It's a smartphone. It is so hilarious the fact that Tai Kubo included a smartphone in Bleach. Because after all, why not use it? Yep. Oh, you still got the old one, Rukia? My old one was working just fine, so I need to get a new one. Like, well, where's Orihime? Is she over that way? It was seen by turning that. She's doing laundry at home. What? So his happy husband leaves all the housework to his wife. I know what I know what's going on. You're one of those estranged couples living under the same roof, even though you've lost domestic bliss because of emotional abuse. He's like, we're not. When did you learn those terms? He recently got something called TV in the Soul Society. We watch shows in the living room now. I never thought you'd feel it'd be being a parent telling his kid to quit watching TV and get studying. At least not like this is so funny. Yeah, this is just a funny conversation. At least you got TV, so I can imagine it. After Mr. Ukura started working with the Department of Research and Development or something of those new Rishi devices. Oh, sort of same thing. Oh yes, and then we have Marashima. Yeah, Kazukuki. Yes, yeah, him is one of his weird outfits. Yes, these weird headgear he always tends to show up in. Like every arc he shows up and he wears a different headdress every time. Yeah, it's a minor gag. If you watch the anime when it comes to this guy, every arc the guy shows up in that's a canon store, he always changes headgear. For like no reason. He's like, I've always tailored developed my dilemma's aesthetic. So this thing work. No, Randy, this isn't an actual body. It's a hologram. And of course, everybody thinks it's him. Yeah, it goes to 4th kind of barracks, 5th company. Oh, hologram. First time I've seen one. Looks weird. You have a first message from Captain Kuski? I had some message for all assistant captains. I'm home. And you have the daughter basically just watching this. You have everybody from the 1st kind of barracks, 2nd, and all the, well, they call it in the manga, they refer to the people as assistant captains. In the anime, well, particularly the English dub, they refer to them as lieutenants. And any appearance by, I'm trying to remember who this is. Like, it's not Chad. It's probably somebody else. Oh yeah, Rukia basically is back here. Yep, Rukia is still here. This hot babe. Yep. So, and then we have Musku using laser beam, and they had the Forge company like, oh my, can you kidding me? He's gonna attack us. Let me do that. It's so funny. Yeah, and then Ichigo somehow invited to the parties for some reason. Only captains may attend. Since the captains may capture the hollow preparation according to this. Sure, but do you really think everyone here like this? You sure got a lot to say. You don't complain about traditions. You're an outsider. What are you doing here anyway? What to? You're the one who told me I'm an outsider. Yeah, I should be here. Let's go for this ceremony. Now, no fight. Yeah, there's Rukia for you. Can't start a ceremony after we did our part. Yeah, basically. Yeah, and of course, while using the sidelines. So, we job again? I'm a translator. Wow, smarty. We never get together like this. Use new recruits. That's Rindo, Iba's assistant captain. He doesn't talk. You know sandwich? No, I don't. He says no need to apologize. He can read lips. He can understand him. Oh, that's cool. I wasn't talking about you. Get that smug look on your face. Yep. And then we have the assistant A company's captain, Yoshira. Nice to meet you. She's obsessed with everything Gary from Living World. Everything Gary is like that, even Living World. Just gotta be on her assistant captain. Yo, gotcha. Yep, and of course, this is so funny. He's like, you're Ichigo, the hero from the Great War, am I right? I've heard all the buzz about you. Snap a pic, don't worry, I got it covered with a filter. I'm not a hero, cut it out, no filters either. I'm gonna take it away, see? Perkano. It's so funny. Apparently she's an otaku. Otaku is so funny. And of course you have Reggie's daughters watching this. And then we have apparently like a hollow pops up out of nowhere. Yes, a freaking, like a skeleton. I noticed it. And she yells out for her father. It's like, dude, what are you? Okay, now he gets smacked. Yep. And of course, Ichigo is slicing the pieces. And one assistant captains gets stabbed. I think it's the one who was the former one of the 3rd seat, who's this assistant captain for Company 4. She gets stabbed. She's the sister of the current captain. And then we have a bunch of hollows show up, like really big ones. Like, what are you doing here? Sorry. These guys are spiritual. They're not ordinary hollows. We're talking about they just capture a living hollow. Try a terrible time. Yep, and of course they attack the hollows. Everybody just having a blast for several pages. Yep. And then something really weird happens. Must you go so soon, Renji Abara? I wanted to see your face so much. This day came out. Your Salapar. Oh my gosh! It's the Iran car, the one who was killed by Captain Kutsuki, back in the I think it's like Wakamundo arc. What? Just you? I said to come see your face, but that was merely flattery. That scrawny Quincy isn't here either. Or that mad scientist. Or I less open-minded, I would take it as a slight. Why did he look like that? Are you dead? Hmm? Oh, you mean this? That's right, I was cast into hell. What does that mean? Hell is great. You can cast away your hollow yoke. My whole is no longer bound to my flesh. My hate and suffering are both like tears as they overflow out of my brain. I'm like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Yep. What's going on over there? I'm just like frightened. She's frightened, the pitiful thing. Wrong answer. Answer me, Roger. I've asked you what she is. Well, the gallows of hell are clairvoyant. You don't need to answer. Now I start by killing your daughter, Renji Abara. And of course, Renji gets his daughter away. And look up, they're saved by Ichigo. Ichigo, Renji, go. Take you somewhere. Like, you're in the way. Yeah, he says, I'm gonna kill you, Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo's like, who the hell are you? Yeah. And of course, yeah, that is very good on the part of Taikubo for doing that, because Ichigo never met this guy in the Wakamuno arc. Never did. He was fighting Grimjow. So, yeah, he never met him. So it's obvious the fact that, like, I like the fact Taikubo basically is good with his own continuity. Because you can't just claim Ichigo somehow met him off screen because he didn't. It's good the fact that he remembers that. Some writers basically tend to forget that, like, the writer of JoJo tends to reuse stands in other arcs that he does. But at least Taikubo is not like that at all. He actually remembers the fact that, or at least maybe fans probably told him this, yeah, Ichigo never met this mad scientist. Never did. He probably heard about him, but he never met him before. And of course, the captain's noticing there's this black goo coming to place. And of course, the head captain, this is of course the former captain of Company 8. It's Phantasm from hell. Phantasm, what is it doing here? It's a wives' tale. Hear me here. It'd be good. It's been told for a good long while in this so even though there's something called spirit class. In the past, it was scale used among aristocrats to indicate the density of spiritual pressure within Rishi. A normal company member has 20 class Rishi, and assistant captain is 5th or 4th class, or greater those are greater than 3rd class or captains. A Soul Reaper's body is comprised of Rishi. When they pass on, their body turns into Rishi and reclaimed by the soul of the Soul Society. But anyone who is above 3rd class has spiritual too dense to be absorbed without intervention. The Kensa Rushi is a ceremony to allow the Rishi repair. That is much as we learn at the Sons of Origin. Now, the next part is the old wives' tale. In actuality, Rishi is a 3rd class and above can never return to the Soul Society. So what we're going to do? It's not we can't allow anyone over Rishi letting her loose. So it's like, definitely. Therein lies the other reason behind Kenshiro. The ceremony the deceased captains are cast into hell. Yep, and cut back to the fight between Ichigo and... I was like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the truth, but not fret, Ichigo Kurosaki. I'm sure you're aware the power has cost the wayward souls who have lost their right to return due to power they themselves sought or cast in hell of salvation as kindness, and the kind-hearted Soripers sent their companions to hell with their own hands. Is it true? Do we really? May well be. You don't realize now, don't you believe me? And we come back to that fight. What else did my parents before me prove? The balance has collapsed. The powerful and spiritual pressures were holding the mew of hell shut. Sosuke, Aizen, and Yamachi have disappeared. Since then, you have sent those powerful spirit pressures to hell, one after another, and the jaws of hell can now be wrenched open the other side. Court Guard founder Yamamoto, Death Sword Ukan, and today. And then he gets stabbed. You're too early. Keva's a god sworn. Juro Usuke. What are you saying? The ceremony hasn't. It's done. Just here now. You massacred the beast of hell. Right in front of Juro's eyes. Now then, I'm going home. You can think on this. Hell has always been beside you. I haven't doubt you have failed to notice. Have you ever wondered why the butterflies that guide the soul reapers have hell in their name? And the gate closes. And have Ichigo's son just walking along. And then we finally have the chapter, Bleach, New Breaths from Hell. And that's where the chapter ends. Yeah, what an absolute great chapter. Now, last time the Gates of Hell have been shown ever. Well, this is technically the first canon time the Gates of Hell have been shown in Bleach, because they have been shown once before. And you're thinking, where? The fourth Bleach movie, Hellverse. Yes, that was the last official time the Gates of Hell were shown in Bleach. Excuse me. And apparently this one shot is going to start a new story arc. Is it going to be revived with the Bleach manga? Who knows? But it all depends on what happens next. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. By the way, I get this chapter a 10 out of 10. It's really freaking good. And you're probably thinking, like, what is up with reading that weird dialogue from that mad scientist from the Arankar arc? And the dialogue sounded so creepy. And I hope everybody liked the voice, basically, I gave. Because sometimes I would do that when on these manga reviews. That I would change my voice to actually match what how they would probably sound. I hope people like it. Because I do the same thing for All For One from My Hero Academia. I do for him too, because it's always good to have a very good deep voice. Here it's just basically something else, because this guy has got the most creepiest dialogue of the whole thing. And yeah, he was killed by Kutsuki. Like, he got killed while being stabbed. But also having a drug put into his body. Things come out of the body of I think it's Nenao, his lieutenant, who was also his daughter, who doesn't show up in this one shot for some reason. Yeah, she doesn't show up here. I'm not sure what happened to her. Yeah, it's also mentioned that Sosuke Aizen is in hell. Like, I get the fact Young Reach is probably there because he was killed. But I'm sure that someone's body was basically used to keep a soul sign intact. But Sosuke Aizen? Like, they mentioned he was cast to hell. When the heck did that happen? I mean, clearly this takes place 2 years after the finale of the series. And they mentioned that it's been 12 years since the series ended. 12 years. They also briefly mention here that Renji's daughter might have a thing for Ichigo's son. It's implied that it's hinted at, but doesn't really go much anywhere. But who knows? It all depends upon what Tai Tsukuba does next. Do I think I might get another one shot? Who knows? But yeah, this was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this thing. Okay, so that's it for Signal View. Next is My Hero Academia. Okay, next video. Bye.